Mirror, mirror.
My favorite dog, hands are concert.
Okay. Positivity.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
How do you define positivity? I think it's a pretty basic term.
Don't ask me that. I don't know, I guess like finding good in all the bad situations.
That's good. No, that's actually
So
good.
like, let's say if I dropped off my books, I could say, look for the positivity.
What's the positivity in dropping my books? Okay, I think that's good because a lot of people think that positivity is
Like being happy all the time.
yeah, no, exactly. But it's like about taking whatever is given to you and like having a good mindset about it. And even if it's not like initially,
Girl, I'm hungry.
even if it's not like initially being happy about it or positive about it, it's about like changing that mindset so that you eventually are or like because you know we're humans, sometimes we instantly just think negative, but then it's about being like, wait, no, stop, and then like switching it to positivity.
What is God doing in my life that's good?
Yes, and like how can this be used? I'm so sorry about the focus, by the way. I don't really know how to use my camera.
And like, I'm always bad about finding the positivity because I'm always like really negative about myself. But Lolo,
I preach to her all the time.
she's like, well, God did this for a reason. You need to look at the positive side of it.
Guys, I promise I'm not just like a social media person. Like, I'm probably more myself in person than on social media.
Very much so.
Okay, so, what's a situation that has happened to you that you thought negatively of? She calls herself a pessimist?
I'm very pessimistic.
She's the pessimist, I'm the optimist. But we all have our pessimist and optimist moments.
I don't know, you put me on the spot. I'm gonna have to think of that.
Okay, think.
Wait, what was the question again?
What are times that you didn't initially think positive?
Probably like when I started at UCW. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel like judged and like put on the spot.
Yeah.
Like really negative about things, and especially since like when we started going to Port City and then like
Which is our
Overflow.
church.
Yeah. Overflow, which is like a college ministry thing on Tuesdays. I was like, I know I'm not gonna like it. There's gonna be too many people, too many like pretty girls, and I'm gonna feel really insecure.
Yeah,
and,
because
like,
she grew up going to like a smaller church.
yeah. So I don't like the flashy lights and like the
Yeah,
jumping
me
around
neither.
and stuff. And I
Me
was like,
neither.
I'm not gonna like it. So like I immediately thought negative about it.
And I was the same way, and I had like, and also since we're like Christians at like a secular college, we were like, I mean,
I feel like we like kind of stand out that way.
exactly. And I personally don't care if I'm judged. Like, I
do because
right.
like,
That's our like little difference.
like people's opinion like I greatly hold.
Yes. So that's like one thing that I try to like mentor her on, which is like which is another positivity thing to mentor. How have I mentored you on how to not care so much about what other people think?
Like when I have breakdowns about my exams, which they're
that's
probably
not-
coming up this week.
Yeah, true. Okay, so ooh. Okay.
Okay,
So
I'll try not to move.
the reason that she mentions like her exams based on like what people think about her is because she's scared that if she doesn't get into nursing school that she's going to like not like, what is it? You say it. Like,
Succeed, I guess, and see like I like am one of those people that if I don't get in this fall, then I'm gonna feel rejected and like they don't want me.
right.
But then Lolo's trying to been helping me that like they don't see you as like an individual. It's more
Mm-hmm.
like your numbers and stuff.
Because like the way that our nursing school is they don't
It's
even
super competitive.
yeah, so it's to the point where they don't ask you about what like extracurriculars you do, what internships you have. They just purely ask you for the letter grade that you got in the class. They don't look at you as an individual. So what I'm trying to tell her is like it does like they don't even know who you are. They don't even know who they're rejecting. So
Yeah.
like when they're rejecting you, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting numbers that they don't know the story behind. They don't know if you were sick so you couldn't go to class. Like they don't know if you were having a bad day so you got a bad grade on that test which brought your grade down. Like they have no idea who you are.
Well, yeah, and
So
it's
they
also
can't-
because like I told you like I've never struggled in school before.
Yeah.
And like some of my classes are kicking my butt.
Yeah. So then it's like a really big like
like shot to the head.
yeah, so you gotta like humble yourself, like honestly, which is like something I'm learning.
Well, and then another thing, like, you try to teach me, like, to not care as much, like, what people think.
Yeah, I mean, we're really just like we're living like life. Like, you know, it's not like, sometimes it's not really just not that deep, you know what I mean? Like, people, if you think about it, people don't care about other people. Like, they really don't. Like,
I mean, that's what I've heard, like, you think that people are, like, judging you and looking at you, but they're really not.
half the time I look judgmental, I am actually being like, wow, like, her outfit's cute or something like that. And the thing is when people are judging you for wearing like something different, they're probably just judging you because they don't feel like they could like wear that.
Pull it off.
Yeah, like they're literally
you
just
judge
like,
me for being basic.
I don't judge you.
You're
Maybe
like,
a little.
why are you asking me? That's basic.
Well, okay, so she asked me for style advice, and she's like, she'll be like, does my outfit look cute? And she's literally wearing like a shirt that has like a mountain on it or something, and then like workout, like black workout shorts. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, you're wearing shorts and a shirt. Like,
okay, I like to feel comfortable when I'm going to class.
Right, I know, but like, I don't know how I'm supposed to ask. Like, do I look cute? Like, you look
Just
like
say,
you're wearing
like,
shorts and a shirt.
Just say like you look good.
Okay.
That t-shirt popping.
The mountain on your shirt is awesome. Like, but yeah,
It's so amazing.
definitely.
It's so amazing that you went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, you thrifted that? No way. Show me the thrift store.
Well, see, like, I just don't have the confidence to, like, go exotic.
Exotic. Oh my gosh.
I'm using that word again.
You're using that word. I got called exotic by a boy today. Exotic. He said you're exotic.
I don't know, if someone told me that, I'd be like, so, like,
I thought of
can't
an
be
animal in a
contained.
zoo.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
they can't.
I definitely, like, that's, like, one of my favorite compliments, honestly, though. Like, exotic. Like, it's different. Like,
It's
I
like
usually
you can't be contained.
I usually...
You're like a ball
I
of
usually
energy.
get unique or crackhead. But...
I could say crackhead.
And I told him that, and he was like... yeah. I told him that, and he was like... Well, unique isn't even a unique compliment. Like, what is unique
love
about
that,
unique?
yeah.
And I was like, wait, that's so true. Like... So then he was like, exotic is like different and it like has a meaning behind it, but unique is just like what makes you unique, you know? Like it's just too generic. Anyways.
Just start saying like when you go up to people, call me exotic.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not
I
unique.
won't settle for
I'm
unique.
exotic. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're getting off track. Hold on. Let's see if anyone asked any questions. Okay. What situation made it the hardest for you to be positive? Oh, okay.
You're asking me that?
Okay, yeah, you go first.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll go first. Honestly, I struggle with breakups because I feel like since I'm exotic, unique, I get, the relationship gets really like, I don't even, how do I explain that? Like, very much feelings.
You get
because
attached.
because
I'm
like
the same way.
they like me a lot because I'm unique, and then I like them a lot because I pick unique men. So then it's like we both like each other a lot. So then like he's obviously like, oh, I'm like gonna marry you. Like I've never found anyone like you. You know what I mean? And so like then when we break up, it's like really really hard to like get over them because they were unique, and then it's hard to get over the fact that they told me like all these things and promises and stuff. So I feel like that's like thing that's most that's hardest for me to be positive in.
Men. That's a story for another time.
That's a story for another time. My advice in that situation that made me more positive would probably be what I do is I start like thinking, I mean like basically how to get over a breakup 101 with Lolo.
Oh god. We'll be here for a while.
One thing I do that really helps me is I pick something to look forward to in the future. And when it's hard to live, let's be real, put something in the future that like I'm excited for, because like I said, let's be real, sometimes it's hard to like even want to like get out of bed or even go any longer. So what I think of is like something in the future that I am excited for. A piercing, a tattoo appointment, seeing a new friend that you haven't seen in a while, and literally anything. It can be even small things like going shopping, going thrifting, anything really, and just like have that in the future. You find that thing that you want to save for, and then that gives you time, because you know God works through time, and sometimes it's hard to trust that. So you just like keep that time, in that time like God's working, and you can like pray and stuff like that. So that is that's a little positive mindset, right? That's positivity. That's that's thinking about something that's about to happen. It's staying, which is positive, because honestly it can be hard, guys, I know. And another thing I do is I try to write my progress, you know? I'll write in a journal, writing to God. I call it letters to God. And I'll write how I'm feeling today, what I did, and it's totally fine to just not even want to do anything that day, right? As long as you are doing something a little bit positive, right? You can feel productive. So what I like to do is write to God, because I'm you know what, I worked on my relationship with God today. Even if I didn't get out of bed, I worked on my relationship with God today. So you write how you're feeling, how you're doing, your prayers and everything, and then at the end of the week, just go back and look and see how you have progressed, see how God has worked through you when you didn't even notice it, and see how he has answered your prayers. Because often we pray and we forget what we prayed about. So then when you write it down and you look back, and I know writing down can be sometimes hard. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'm so excited to tell God everything, and then I'll start writing and I'm like, ugh, my hand hurts, I don't feel like doing this. But I promise it's worth it, and if it helps, just write it in your notes and then transfer it later when you feel like it. But anyways, little tip. So then you can see how slowly you start having a little bit better of days, or you start being a little bit more positive. Definitely will have down days, and that's not you not progressing. That's actually you coping and getting over it. So that's good, because you need to those bad days, they actually help you progress. So don't feel like you're going right back down the rabbit hole if you're having a bad day, because that's how you cope, and that's how you recognize and get over things. That's a little positivity. Writing to God, working our relationship with God. Oh, my two things that I've learned lately. My two things that I've learned lately that I've literally been talking about so much, which I wrote blogs about. The one was I
thought you were quizzing me.
No. The one, times of singleness spent with God should not be in preparation for someone else.
You made me read that blog in math class.
I did. I always show her my vlogs before I post them.
In math class.
And then 2 is God's love is pure. So those are the 2 things that I meditate on after a breakup. And once you really understand that, it's so much easier not to rebound, which is, a lot of people get lonely and they'll want to, even just talking to someone, not even just meeting up with someone, but just talking to someone sometimes feels it fills that hole. The 2 things that I meditate on so that I don't so that I'm just focused on God. So times of singleness should not be in preparation for the world. What I mean by that is when you are after you get in a breakup, most of us, that's actually when we run to God, because God is nearest to us, to our brokenness. God is nearest to our heart, and he's nearest to us when we are in distress. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel a lot of people, me included, get so close to God, and then when we feel our self-healing, we get further and further, because we're oh, we're good now, yay, God did it, we're good. So that's what I mean, God is nearest to us in our brokenness. We usually run to him, and then when we're hurting. So anyways, that time that you're running to him and you're learning about him and stuff, your mindset shouldn't be, I am trying to get better to be a better wife. Okay, I know you're probably wait, what? It should be, because I want to be a better wife and mom. Hear me out. Okay. And it also shouldn't be, we break up, I'm gonna get closer to God, and then we can get back together because we'll be better then. No. Okay. So that's kind of, I feel that's just kind of disrespectful to God. You're using him to be better for the world. You know what I mean? Because a relationship is a gift. It's of the world, really.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So the way I thought about it was, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Did I explain that fully?
Yeah, you did.
You think?
I think you explained it pretty good.
Basically, when you're just when you're trying to get close to God, just be getting close to God. Don't be all right, how can I get close to God in a way that will help me be better for someone? You know what I mean? Just focus on God. Just be better for God, because he doesn't promise that you are going to get back with that person or anything like that. He just wants you to get close to him so that you're a better woman of God, so that you have a better relationship with him. Second thing, God's love is pure. A lot of us struggle with lust. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, all right, what love is not lustful? What love is not going to make me anxious, like, are they gonna leave? Are they lying to me? And then I was like, okay, wait, duh, God's, right? Like, God's love is pure. So it's without lust, it's without lies, it's without deception, it's without, like, anxiety. It's just, like, fully, like, you know it. Like, you know what it is. You know it's good. And you're obviously not gonna have lust in a relationship with God, I hope. So,
That would be weird.
that would be weird. But then I was like thinking about it, and if you read my blog that blog that I'm about to post, it's about pure love. It's a part 2 to the singleness thing that I just talked about, which is my last blog. So when you fill out your taxes, whether you're in a relationship or whether
You're gonna spoil your blog if they haven't read it.
Oh, it's fine because it's just a snippet of it, okay, guys? When you fill out your taxes, and even when you're engaged, you are considered single. You fill out your taxes as single. So technically, legally, you're single. In God's eyes, you're single, right? You haven't bound yourself to another person through marriage. So when you put someone else above God, or when you bind yourself to another person, you are committing adultery to God. You are cheating on God. So I was like, why would anyone want to cheat on pure love, right? Like, and then I was like, wow, like, now I know how God feels. Like, he's constantly like, no, like, my love, you know what I mean? Because, like, there's so many times where I'm, like, getting, like, lost in, like, the idea of a human love. Like, I feel like a lot of us take God and we put our humanistic idea of love and we throw it on him. But really, he created love, so we should be taking his idea of love and putting it on our human relations. Like, he defines love. So honestly, I encourage you to, like, read the Bible and what God says about love, because that is actually what love is, and humans have twisted it so much. So you might read it and be like, wait, what? That's love? That's love? And then once you, like, really meditate on that and, like, learn it and, like, read it and, like, really get the idea of his pure love, then it's so much easier to be able to reciprocate it and know what you are deserving of. And that's like love like God. Like, it makes everything tie together. You're like, wait, oh my gosh, like, that's why they tell us to, like, get closer to God before you get in a relationship and understand who he is. Like, how can you act like someone when you never even read about how they act? Like, how can you be like Jesus when you've never read about how he lived? I feel like that's, like, literally all. Like, that's, like, my 2 things. Like, that's, like, a positive mindset on, like, a breakup. Like, you can think about how those 2 things are things that you can meditate on and really, like, learn in. And I mean, like, everyone says, like, oh, get closer to God after a breakup, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, what does that look like? So there you go, that's what that looks like. Or, like, a snippet of it. What are things I always tell you?
Quit worrying about this.
Quit worrying, don't be dramatic.
Okay. God placed you exactly where you want to be. Like, if you...
For the specific time that you are supposed to be there. Yep, exactly.
Because, like, maybe he doesn't want you in nursing school this December. Maybe...
That's a big thing. Sometimes we're afraid that...
Because, like,
the world's timing should be our timing. Since I'm supposed to apply to nursing school, like, this time, then I need to get in that time. But that's...
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Just because, like, I have, like, my life planned out.
Yeah.
And see, like, a lot. I mean, like... Everyone tells me this, like,
you know that
God
motto,
has, like, a different plan for
God
you.
laughs when you plan.
I guess God's laughing at me all the time then.
Like, a lot of us plan.
Well, I just tend to look at the future instead of, like, living in the present. So, like, you've, like, taught me, like, appreciate
No, I am that person. I am that person that lives in the future.
Well, yeah, you've told me that.
So,
you're like, but, like,
that's why I, like, tell her don't, because I have learned from that. Because someone noticed that I was like that, like, recently, and they were like, Lauren, you need to start living in the present. And, like, I need to
start doing that more.
I get really bothered when I give people advice and it goes through one ear and out the other and they don't take it. Like, that is my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, no, listen, like, the advice I'm giving you, like, please take it. Like,
I'm handing my wisdom over to you.
Yeah, I'm like, please, like, I'm a psychology major and I have gone through a lot, and I feel like I have to give the wisdom. So I'm like, please listen. And, like that's that way, like, so, and, like,
but sometimes you just gotta, like, tell them.
And I'm not saying I'm always right, but, like, I'm saying, like, I hate it when people don't, like, take my advice when I'm like, this is what you should do. So I try to take people's advice like really like to heart. So like this person told me like you need to live in the present. That's all they said to me. You need to live in the present. So ever since then I'm like, all right, I'm living in the present. Like
I've been getting to that stage more.
like yeah, like how yeah. That's true. You totally have.
I've been working.
Yeah, we're progress. Okay, hold on.
I'm like her test subject.
Oh my gosh. The battery dies if it deletes the video, so I'm just doing that. Yeah, so something that's something I've been learning. Living in the present. That's good advice. We love that. What does it look like to live in the present? Girl. No, I'm working on that myself. But I feel like okay, this is a good one.
Just don't get ahead of God.
Take it, yes. That's something my blogs, again, I really tell you what I'm learning in my blogs, so you should read them.
Don't be the main character.
This is like alluding to my blog, Take It Day by Day. That is how I live. That's how I've learned to live in the present. So like when I was going through a hard time, my friend told me, like, stop trying to heal so quick. Just think to yourself right now, what do I need to do right now to make myself feel better?
That's good. That's good advice.
Yes.